This is Fox 31 Now.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for tuning into Fox 31 Now. I'm Alex Rose, and it is a pinpoint weather alert day today and also for tomorrow morning as a snowstorm hits and wallops Colorado. Looking at the radar up on the screen right now, it is just coming in strong from the west. We're still experiencing a lot of rain here in the Denver metro. Before I bring in pinpoint weather meteorologist Chris Tomer to answer your questions here on this edition of Ask a Met on Fox 31 Now, again, if you folks are not familiar with the program, there are three different ways you can basically ask your questions. You can join us on Facebook Live. You can ask them in the comments section. You can join us on Twitter if you're watching on our website or our app using the hashtag AskAmet, or you can always email us at askamet@kdvr.com. So let me go ahead and just punch up Chris Tomer. Now, Chris, let's start with this. You and I have been having these conversations pretty much all week leading up to this storm. What has changed since we last spoke? How is this storm changing from what we were forecasting yesterday?
So here's what I'm seeing. It's trending a little faster and a little weaker than what we were sort of thinking about as far as yesterday. So those two things are at the top of my mind. The other thing is I'm not really concerned about the Denver area or most of I-25. What I'm most concerned about is the foothills, where we're going to see a foot or two of heavy, wet, moisture-laden snowfall over the next probably 24 to 36 hours, somewhere in there. You can see what's happening here on radar. The precip is here. It's just here in earnest, just a little bit earlier than expected. And you can see the movement is basically in that direction, taking the moisture through. You've got snow falling up here in the foothills. Right now, I'm thinking that potentially one of the biggest bullseyes is going to be up here around the I-70 corridor from basically Genesee to the tunnel. You'll still have good snow north of that towards Longs and Estes, but maybe not as much as what we were thinking yesterday.
All right, let's get to a couple of these questions, and we got them loaded in from all different areas. Again, you can ask them on Facebook Live, you can use the hashtag, or you can email us all that information on the bottom of your screen. Let's start with Lamont, who's wondering, what time is it supposed to start snowing in Denver as a rough guess? Obviously, we know Denver kind of sits in a bowl, so I imagine that's why we're seeing that it hasn't really kind of turned the page from rain to snow just yet, Tomer.
That's right. Yeah, so if you're in the western suburbs or even the southern suburbs, you're going to have that much earlier. You're going to have the snow or the rain-snow transition much earlier because you're up at higher elevations and it's going to be just a degree or two colder. I expect in the metro area, the heart of Denver, that's probably not going to happen until lunch or later, and especially towards the afternoon, evening rush hour. We'll probably see a transition over to all snow here. I don't think we're going to see much of any accumulation in Denver until it's close to the sun going down, which, by then we're talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight. The sun angle is just much higher. Everything's warm. The temperature, the pavement, everything is just really warm right now. And it's anybody's guess how much of this is going to melt. I think it's going to be a lot. We're going to see a lot of melting. So the range of possible totals is really wide, but that just gives you a rough estimate of what I'm thinking. You can see, though, the period of potential snow for Denver really is later tonight into Saturday morning.
Yeah, and that kind of bleeds into one of the questions that folks have. I do want to just give a couple of shout-outs for folks who are tuning in from all over Colorado. Really appreciate it. Lance says Steamboat Springs has about 6 inches already. It's still coming down. It's going to be beautiful snow for the resort up there and everything. And then Kelly tuning in, she says it's already snowing in Castle Rock, and so that must be fun. But let's see, Sean is wondering, are the Rockies still going to play tonight, or is that going to be canceled? You got a 6:40 start time for the Rockies-Mets game tonight.
Too wet for it.
Yeah, it just might be one of those things. I wouldn't be surprised if they push it and go for a doubleheader tomorrow and try to push back. Exactly. We're going to obviously get a couple of flight questions in on these things because of the airport. And actually, I do have a live look at the airport right now. And it looked like on radar that it's just starting to turn the page over to snow. So definitely earlier than we were initially anticipating some snow accumulation over there at DIA. But it's still light. It's still pretty wet. So Brian is wondering on Twitter, Think the airport's going to be good for my flight arrival at 10:36 a.m. Saturday morning. Considering changing flights, not sure what to do. They're from South Carolina. They don't understand snow. So I understand your pain, Brian, coming from the Carolinas in my previous gig. Let's look for Brian, long picture of this storm and just see when it rolls out to give folks an idea. Because I don't think by 10:30 Saturday morning they may be dealing with some stuff, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think, I'm not particularly worried about DIA overall. I think we're going to see a ton of melting out there. I think things start to taper 9, 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. It's just a matter of how backed up they get out there with de-icing, because that's usually a 20 to 30 minute ordeal. For Denver, the airport, this is not a huge event. Again, it's late in the season. The temperatures are warm, marginal, in fact. Could the roads be slushy? Absolutely, tomorrow morning across the area. But again, it's just a matter of how they deal with it out there, Alex. I think this is not something I'd go in and change all my flights or anything like that. But we don't make those kind of decisions here as far as delays. So it's just, we can't read their minds. We just don't know what they're going to do.
Exactly. But I can tell you, DIA's got one of the best snow removal operations in the country. In fact, Leanne is tuning in. She asked for predictions for DIA, and her husband is on snow removal. So thank you for what your husband does and everything to keep those runways clean. Again, DIA's got the most runways out of any airport in the country, and so they got a big crew on it 4 days like today. But as Tomer and I have been talking about, folks, because a lot of people are wondering about road conditions, you got to keep in mind we had high 80-degree temperature across the Front Range pretty much yesterday. So a lot of that heat is being retained by the pavement, and that's going to help accelerate the melting of the storm. But then again, we're just starting to get snow now, and this thing is going to last all the way into the evening. All right, let's see. What else do we have here?
If you look at temperatures right now, so what is it, 10:30? We're going to see some movement. I think we could be at 34 by 10 o'clock tonight. That gives you some idea. We're just on the warm side. It's just a little too warm for this to be a huge event down here. If it was in the 20s, even upper 20s, the whole complexion of this would be totally different. But 37, 38, 39 right now, even at 34 at 10 o'clock tonight, you're still forcing a lot of melting even at 34.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. And I really have never been in a market where it actually does snow even though it's above 32, coming from New England and everything. So I find that to be wild, that it can be above freezing and we can still get a little bit of snow.
Oh, yeah. We could probably snow at 40 here.
Really?
41.
How does that happen, Chris? I'm just curious.
Well, we have to have upslope flow here in Denver. In other words, so when it was really hot and dry in April, most of the time the wind was downsloping off the high peaks down in Denver. It was mainly a northwest wind. That dries the air out. So when you start to turn the wind from the northeast or east, the wind then comes up into Denver, and then it's constantly moving up in elevation. It's forced to rise into the foothills, forced to rise up to 14. That lifting type of wind cools the air. You start to get evaporation and eventually precipitation. And with the rising of that air, it tends to cool the air as well through different processes. So you can have temperatures at 40 even and have snow around here just because of the efficiency of that upslope wind flow around here. It's called orographics. And that plays into snowfall, not just down here, but at ski areas and all over the mountainous areas in Colorado.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Again, for you folks who are tuning in on Facebook or on our website or even on the app, feel free to participate in the conversation. We got some emails coming in. One viewer coming in from Wheat Ridge just saying just a few minutes ago it shifted to complete snow, no longer rain in Wheat Ridge right now. Here's a live look at the Backus and Shanker cam outside of Empower Field. Yeah, exactly. And again, it's like we saw the temperatures just a moment ago, and that's got to be a big part of it. What are we looking at here?
Well, there's Winter Park. You've got some snow up there. I'm hearing they've got some good snow in Grand Lake, just up the road from our friend John Williams, who lives up there. And, that's what we expected in a lot of these areas. It's been an interesting shift. We talked about what some of the latest trends are with this storm. Let me just show you this map right. Where is it? Here it is. So we talked about this yesterday. A lot of the emphasis now is kind of shifting a little further south towards the I-70 corridor where the biggest numbers are going to be.
Yeah.
Estes now, we've cut that down to 14. Long's down to 18. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at potentially around Idaho Springs of a couple of feet right there. And, again, it's this corridor right here that probably has some of the best accumulation of the entire foothill corridor, just because of that wind, and the temperatures are going to be colder up there at higher elevations. And, even looking at the cams up in Estes, it definitely looks like this is going to be the case, because the snow is just it's a little bit light up there right now, to be perfectly honest. And you can kind of tell it may not live up to expectations, but we'll see. But this is the area, I think, to watch up here in the I-70 corridor.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talk about that area in particular, places like Conifer and those communities that people call home, those are some of the ones, Idaho Springs, Conifer, those are some of the ones that are going to get a lot. Linda's wondering about what the road conditions through Conifer around 4 p.m. are going to be like.
Snowy.
Yeah, snowy is
Once
probably.
the sun goes down, it's going to stick to everything up there.
Yeah, and so just, obviously take your time, leave a little extra time if you're commuting back from work, folks, just as a heads up. I do want to get to kind of a unique question that you may know the answer to, Tomer. Denise wrote into us earlier on the email, again, and I'll flash that at the bottom of the screen. You can always email us, askamet@kdvr.com. I live right by Lake Loveland, she says, and the weather here is always different than Fort Collins and Boulder. Often weather systems seem to go around us. Why is that? Is there anything that you could do to explain just the different elevations between Boulder and Fort Collins and Loveland sandwiched in between?
Yeah, well, let's see what's going on up there right now, in fact, and that'll lead us into a little discussion here. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, it's mainly rain up here in northern Colorado. You got to remember the elevations up here in northern Colorado are a little bit lower, especially up into Weld County. So that's going to give you a little warmer temp. And so that's one of the things we consider up here. But the other has to do with wind, and wind is the king. It's king here in Colorado. So anytime you get wind coming down from Cheyenne, off the Cheyenne Ridge, that's going to downslope into Fort Collins and most of northern Colorado. So that's a drying effect. Wind coming in from the northwest, that's a downslope, so that's going to dry out this area. Wind coming up from the south, southeast would produce different weather in Loveland, Longmont versus Fort Collins, and then that would be totally different up in Cheyenne. So it's this interaction of all the different terrain features up there, and also temperature. So that's the thing. Wind direction can create and destroy weather here in Colorado. You have to know the wind direction, and it can vary between Loveland, Lake Loveland, and Fort Collins and Cheyenne.
That's absolutely fascinating. Vanessa's wondering, do we go cover our outdoor plants tonight? I got to tell you, Vanessa, I would say cover them as soon as possible. Depending on where you are, you're probably already starting to see snow in your neck of the woods. And so we were talking about this yesterday.
Do a record low tonight and probably a record low on Sunday morning.
Yeah, so Tomer and I were basically kind of saying I would keep them covered all the way through Sunday because, again, we are expecting a freeze, early Sunday morning. Just got another question pop in through the email. Natalie is wondering again about cancellations, what flights look like today out of DIA. Sorry if I missed it. That's okay, Natalie. I mean, again, here's a live look at the airport. As we briefly touched on earlier, not too concerned about the airport, but again, those kind of decisions are above me and Tomer's pay grade. The folks at the airport, they know what they're doing. They understand. They're no stranger to snow over there, snow removal, de-icing planes, and so I've got the utmost faith that they're going to, they're not going to push the envelope, so to speak, or anything when it comes to the winter storm. But they've got tremendous crews over there at DIA, and again, even though it says it looks like on radar that snow is just hitting that area, it still looks pretty wet right now out there. So I wouldn't be too worried about flights unless they're pretty late tonight when we get to the thick of it. Tomer, let's just remind folks, when is the projected peak of snow dumping in Denver and the Denver metro area?
Yeah, that's definitely tonight. Let me walk you through the future radar here. So by the time we get to the lunch hour, it should look something like this. Now, on this animation, the pink is going to be That's going to be your mix, and that's, you can see how it's kind of cutting right through Denver. The green up here in northern Colorado is going to be pure rain or rain snow mix, and then the blue is all snow. So that's the view at lunchtime. Moving into the evening rush hour, you can see what happens. We've got that mix line cutting right through Denver out at the airport. Rain in northern Colorado, snow above 6,000 feet south and west of town. So again, that's at 5. And then we're over to all snow right here, probably 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Maybe a little bit earlier, it depends on the temperature profile. But so there you go. You've got snow basically all the way through Boulder and Denver and Castle Rock. That's at 7, 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Overnight into tomorrow morning, it's likely going to be all snow as the sun sets. This is our best opportunity to get some accumulation around here. And then by the time we get to noon, the game is over. I mean, as soon as the sun comes up, things are going to start to improve. And I think after 10 o'clock in the morning, all this is going to start to taper pretty fast. The storm system will move away at that point.
Yeah, and we do have a question getting into just like what next week looks like. So if you have the 7-day handy, Tomer, we'll get to that in a second. Let's see. Amy was wondering, has the snow amounts changed? And Amy, if you missed the top of the stream, I asked Tomer, what's kind of changed in the forecast between where we are now and where we were yesterday when we had the same conversation? Yeah. The storm's coming in weaker and faster, and so those totals are changing for sure. But we're still forecasting roughly 3 to 6 inches in downtown Denver and the surrounding communities, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, and I, just being perfectly honest, it's a big guess at this point for Denver. The guess is, you've got these numbers here. That's a starting point. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, how much of that's actually going to stick? How much is going to melt? Mm-hmm. If it's 50%, is it 80%? I don't have any idea. But this is a starting point. It could be that most of that melts. Maybe we end up with 2 or 3 inches and some slush on the roads. But that just kind of gets you into the ballpark. Now, these numbers up here on the west side, a little more predictable because you're up a little bit higher. So that's okay. And then certainly the foothills, Continental Divide, we've adjusted those. We've adjusted them down for northern Colorado, and we think the bullseye is probably going to be right about here. The I-70 corridor running through Genesee and Idaho Springs, Georgetown up to Beardstadt and Grays Torreys, Loveland, and Berthoud and Winter Park. That's probably where the best lock is for the heaviest snow.
Absolutely. Now, let's get back to the 7-day. Donald is wondering, is Monday going to be warm? As Tomer mentioned to me earlier this week, when we go off like a temperature cliff and we dive down into these colder temps, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to build back up.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And this storm will be long gone by then. And here's what I'm saying. So what you see right here on Monday, that is a rain shower thunderstorm chance in the afternoon. I don't want that. And on Tuesday, that is also a rain and thunderstorm chance, but it's a little bit higher. This is a second little storm system. It's minor compared to what we're dealing with right now. That'll come through. It may very well snow again up on the Continental Divide on Monday and the Tuesday with this little thing coming through. And that'll keep temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Now, once that moves through, then we'll rebound pretty nicely in the 70s and the 80s. But that is a little storm system coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to try to see if I can get a look here at some of the mountain cameras that we just got some access to from, and maybe you have some better shots than I do to show people what it looks like in the high country.
Let's see what, let's go back to Winter Park. And Winter Park, you can see some snow coming down up there. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we've got here. Though. There's Denver. It's just wet here. What else you got in there, Alex?
I was about to say, so we got some stuff from the FAA that I'm just kind of fiddling around with. So this is the Yampa Valley Regional Airport up there. It's just whiteout conditions, but I know that some folks were talking about Steamboat and everything. But the FAA has some great resources for these maps all over the place. Let's look at Eagle County right there. It's going to take a second to load the data. But again, whiteout conditions is what we're looking at. And so I was just curious if we've got any crystal clear shots or anything like that. And I'm seeing your shot right now at the Rocky Mountain National Park
Yeah,
Visitor Center.
visitor center.
It's the same
snowing
deal.
up there.
I did reach out to some of the rangers out there because they're trying to have, for folks who are familiar, Trail Ridge Road cleared by Memorial Day weekend. And I was wondering, looking at the forecast, it looked like they were going to get, a couple feet. Now it looks like maybe 1.5 feet. But I imagine right now Trail Ridge Road is closed, folks, for those who are curious. But I was just wondering, is that going to delay things? And they said, we still plan to open by Memorial Day weekend, but time will tell to see exactly how much snow
Time
we
will
get.
tell. This will be gone by then, but I'll tell you, I did a little thing on this today, and this reminds me of late May 2019. This is exactly what it looked like at the same time
Oh, wow.
in 2019. They actually did delay the opening of Trail Ridge back in 2019. In fact, it continued to snow into June up there. If you might recall, we almost lost the entire month of June to this.
right.
And the mountains actually didn't start to clear until late June. That was an unbelievable winter in 2019. But, we're seeing those kind of conditions up there right now.
And that was the historic avalanche winter, if
Yes.
I remember correctly. I remember you making the...
And look at this right here.
Yep.
This was Mount Evans back in late May 2019.
wow.
It was just inundated. They had to just abandon the equipment and just let it snow.
So one of the that's wild. So one of the questions I have for you, Tomer, because when you're talking about plowing at that elevation, obviously, and I could see it in the video, and this is why I kind of thought of it, wind plays a big factor in blowing the snow they've already plowed off back onto the road. Is there a lot of wind in this system? You said that it was coming in faster, so I wonder if the wind has kind of changed from previous forecasts.
There was a lot of wind at the onset, and there's some still now. Let me just see what. Let's see what it looks like. Pull this up. Yeah, there's not a ton of wind now. I'm looking at the map here, and there's not a lot of wind up there right now, per se. Even looking at some of the further west numbers, there's just. Yesterday we kind of got that wind out of the way. Maybe southern Colorado has some wind, but.
Okay. Let's see. All right. We got some specific questions. Let's see. Capri saying, I don't think it'll be open Memorial Day weekend. I think I'm agreeing with you. She's talking about Trail Ridge Road for sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and so we'll see how much snow they get by the end of the day. Again, they're expecting a lot. Rodney says, I hope we get 3 feet of snow. Then all the people that are scared of snow hopefully move back to where they came from. Rodney, well played. Why not? Just scare them all off. 40 degrees in Fort Collins, says Sunny. I'm looking at some other questions. If you got any other questions, feel free to ask while we have Tomer on the line. We'll probably do another edition of Ask a Met later on today. But as we kind of wrap it up here, Tomer, what are just the big takeaways that people should have moving into the weekend?
That we'll have some rain-snow mix here in town for several more hours, and then it'll go to all the snow tonight into Saturday morning, and then the storm will start to clear probably after 10 in the morning or so, and then it'll be over. How much snow do we get down here out of it? I think there's going to be a lot of melting. The place to watch is the foothills running up to the Continental Divide, especially along the I-70 corridor, where we're going to have some of the heaviest, wettest snow accumulations up there that'll weigh everything down. And then, we're going to be done with it, but we're going to have 2 freezes potentially, Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So if you want to cover anything up or protect it, do that throughout Sunday morning. And then things start to warm up after that. We may not be done with precip. It may come back Monday into Tuesday, but it won't be anything like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Sunny says, have a wonderful weekend. Same to you, Sunny. We certainly need the moisture. Let's touch on just, is the change in the forecast, Tomer, helping or hurting the amount of moisture that we're getting here in Denver and helping with our drought conditions?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter what we get, it down here, even if we get snow, it's going to melt immediately anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all good. And I was kind of saying this yesterday. I really think, this is so well timed, right? Because this will save us from burning up in June for a lot of places. Without this, man, we were just headed down a really bad road, red flag warnings almost every day. And so this will really do us a lot of good. In fact, I want to show you this on closing. This is the moisture. This is the total moisture content that we're going to pull out of this storm system, over an inch for a lot of places. that's really good moisture. I mean, we only get 15 inches an entire year, so this is really good. This is down a little bit from what we were thinking yesterday, but still an inch or more is significant.
Wonderful. And my final question for you, Tomer, is a bit of a selfish one. Say one of your newsroom employees, or coworkers, I should say, is trying to go to a concert around 8 o'clock tonight in the Denver area. Sloppy roads at that time, wet, heavy snow. What's my Uber driver going to deal with?
Yeah, just for down here, mostly wet roads.
Got it.
As you go towards Red Rocks, you're going to be up at a higher elevation, so it's going to be a degree or two colder. You'll probably have more snow coming down up there, certainly more than what we're dealing with down here. So just plan, if you're going to Red Rocks, it is probably going to be snowing.
Got it. Good to know. Pinpoint weather meteorologist Chris Tomer joining us for Ask a Met on Fox 31 Now. Chris, thank you so much, and thank you folks for tuning in. Absolutely. Hope you folks have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and we'll just tune into our social media, and we're going to have more updates throughout the day. Take care.